my archfiends of chaos. This is none other than Vincent Valentine, the X-Turk. And we're here talking about a Final Fantasy VII Discussion, the remake and stuff like that. Since I played a Cloud, my Cloud sets on Disscusion and earned 5 streak kill, which you can go watch the stream below this video. So, the reason why I'm dressed as Vincent Valentine today, I'm here to talk about Vincent Valentine in the remake of Final Fantasy VII, since Final Fantasy VII is, Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out, and Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game. So, what I'm talking about here is the possibility of Vincent Valentine's gameplay. Now, I think it'd be cool to put Vincent Valentine's Dirge of Cerberus gameplay mechanics in this one, as is not because you get to choose who you want as your character. You see Barrett with a different moveset than Cloud is, and you see everything else going on in the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer, the second one, where you got to see the character switches, and you got to see yourself play as another character besides just only Cloud. You got to have a different moveset when you had to play as Barrett. So I think Vincent Valentine's gameplay should be like Dirge of Cerberus, where he can actually do like he does when he runs around and uses claw and martial arts. But also, I think maybe I think to give Vincent Valentine a diverse kind of thing is combine his martial arts abilities and switch the other buttons to like when they do they're mostly going to do Kingdom Hearts mixed with Final Fantasy 15 gameplay, where it's an action RPG. So I think it could be possible to have Vincent Valentine also switch into mode just like Call of Duty game or Episode Prompto as well, when you switch to his guns. And I think they should give him 4 different guns you can switch to, just like they did in Dirge of Cerberus. You know, make it flip just like that, and you can upgrade guns and stuff like that for Vincent Valentine's gameplay mechanics. Now, yes, but because this is not turn-based anymore, I think it'd be best to have the Final Fantasy VII Remake have more diverse gameplay. And what I mean by diverse gameplay is stuff like a mix of the Call of Duty Black Ops gameplay, like the videos I'm showing you, but also with his martial arts skills and his run-up. Kind of like a mix of Devil May Cry, Call of Duty style gameplay is what I think Vincent Valentine's gameplay should be able to focus on. Because that's pretty much what Vincent Valentine, Vincent Valentine's gameplay can only be like when you play as him, or when you choose to play as him. Switch from guns from COD mode to Devil May Cry mode, and be able to do his action, base combat, as well as be able to shoot magic out of his gun, just like he did in Dirge of Cerberus. Which I think this would be very cool to absolutely explore this. Explore this in a much higher setting to do that for a diverse gameplay. Kind of like with Episode Prompto, when you have Prompto in your party in Final Fantasy 15. So the difference is, Episode Prompto just didn't end up being really good with the way it is. Even though, yes, Prompto is a marksman and a gunslinger like Vincent Valentine is, I think this gameplay mechanics work better with Vincent Valentine. Instead of the stealth, because Vincent's more action-based than he is stealth. So it'd be a diverse Devil May Cry, pretty much action-based combat, and then when he switches to the guns, it'd be like Call of Duty-based combat, which would be pretty cool for people who don't play RPGs, who play shooters, to get people who play shooters into Final Fantasy VII, so they'd have a character they can actually play. Of course, yeah, you would have to unlock the character, of course. They're not going to give the character free, and I'm doubtful that Square Enix is actually going to make you pay to have Vincent or Yuffie as a DLC. And even if you did as an episode thing, you still would have to beat the episode in order to get Vincent and Yuffie, of course. Just like regular, if they were to implicate those gameplay mechanics. But, for the sake of argument, I don't think that's going to be a big problem or a big issue, per se. I just think that, this would be awesome to test out more diverse gameplay mechanics that was not explored before, and this is a chance to actually explore it before. Like I said, Tifa should be focusing on martial arts and combat stuff, kind of like a 3D version of Chun-Li. Sid should be about spears and high jumps because he's a Dragoon class type of character. You know, pretty much each their own, except instead of a turn, since it's no longer turn-based and this is action RPG, I think they can explore this in a higher level and higher intensity than they could before with the characters. The characters will get their own gameplay just like Gladiolus, Ignis, and Prompto, but in a more perfected and profound way that does not seem cringy. You know, like episode Prompto was a little bit. So, you know, because the whole stealth gameplay, of course. Of course, Vincent Valentine's not a stealth character. He's a shooter, and he plays like Dante. And his gameplay is a mix of Dante and COD type of shooting, you know, as well as transformation states and high magic usage. So Vincent Valentine has a diverse set of gameplay for his character. You know, another reason why Vincent Valentine is one of my other favorite characters is besides the relatability, and I just fell in love with the character so much, is also his diverse gameplay. He doesn't just play regular ass gameplay. He actually has a diverse moveset that makes him separate from Cloud and everybody else. That makes him separate, not in the original game, but in Dirge's Cerberus. And we got to see a little bit of that in Dirge's Cerberus. Even though people didn't like Dirge's Cerberus, you know, still, you gotta admit Dirge's Cerberus actually brought out the gameplay that, you know, we never actually got to see. So, this is actually a perfect way to actually implement this kind of gameplay without actually messing up the remake. Because you get your mix of gameplays with Vincent Valentine. Because from what we've seen in Dirge's Cerberus, he was able to do a lot more than he ever was in the original game due to the fact it's no longer turn-based and restricted to turn-based. We could actually get gameplay that we absolutely need and love for each character, for each style of character of which people play and how they play the characters and what they can do and how they can do it and how they can build up to a different style each and every time, you know. What I'm pretty much saying is that I think it would be better off that Vincent Valentine has a diverse style mix, and I think to modernize Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe give Vincent Valentine a Call of Duty-ish type of style when he switches to his guns, just to make the game realistic. You can even do it from first person to third person, just like Dirge's Cerberus, so you can switch in bait if you want. But I think for like a more modern way to actually make Vincent Valentine's gameplay work in the Final Fantasy VII Remake is to switch it to COD-based, which is the guns, or switch it to action-based controls, transformations controls, magic controls, item controls, summon controls, etc., etc., etc. From what we see in the trailer, I think it could be done, and a lot more. Not only with Vincent Valentine, but also to the other characters too. Characters such as Yuffie, Tifa, Sid, Red 13, Kate Sith. You know, got their own diverse gameplay. Diverse gameplay they never had in their original games, and I think it could be implemented perfectly in the remake of Final Fantasy VII. And before everyone says I don't know what I'm talking about, I think it's possible. I think it's possible to, because it's not turn-based anymore, to have an action-based combat where pretty much each character uses their skills as its individual controls to make you feel like a character. Like, if I'm going to play Vincent Valentine in the remake of Final Fantasy VII, I want to feel like I'm Vincent Valentine. I want to be Vincent Valentine. If I switch to Tifa, I want to be Tifa. You know, you get the point. And this would be perfect to implement, you know, some styles from both Devil May Cry, COD, with a mix-up of the magic and summons like regular, and to make that way you can have a mixed match of gameplay mechanics, and the remake will be able to do it considering how big of a game it is. You know, already when we saw the trailer where you got to play as Barrett, you got to see Barrett's own moveset as if you're playing Barrett's controls as if you are Barrett Wallace when you got to switch from Cloud. And since we're not restricted to have Cloud as your party leader, like in the original, anything can be possible. So gameplay mechanics can change to more of a modern style. And that's why I think it's perfect to do. So may the crystal be with you, and happy 4th of July. Won't you go celebrate, and you don't forget the freedom we have, and be grateful to your parents, be grateful to everybody else. Sorry I'm not wearing a golden claw because I didn't want to put the hassle of putting every single thing on when I was filming this video, because I'm just trying to, you know, make a video. I'm not really making a movie with this. I'm just putting a video on. So I just threw the jacket, the hair, just wore my black clothes, and that's pretty much it. I didn't want to go through the hassle of putting all that stuff on unless I'm absolutely filming. But yeah, this is actually, and for people who don't know, this is actually the Vincent Valentine cosplay I've actually updated. See, I even got a mouth cover piece right here. The wig actually matches perfectly, and then the cape's under here like this. And I actually made this a lot bigger with more belt buckles, as you can see. So this is exactly what the deluxe Vincent Valentine cosplay looks like. I do also have another thing right here with a red long sleeve shirt and the black military vest. This is actually just my normal jacket under here, if you can't see. But this is pretty much right here. I'm gonna go walk in the back so I can show you. But I've been wanting to show this off for a long time, so I'm not wearing the shoes either because I don't want to put the hassle on it, but that's pretty much it. If I can get myself the red eye contacts and work out a little bit more, I think it would be perfect. But this is actually the deluxe Vincent Valentine cosplay I made, so may the crystal be with you.